News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. We're back, of course, here on the Yaffee program. I am Alabama's voice of reason, Huntsville's conservative conscience. Glad you have joined the show today. Appreciate you, as always. Now let's end the show like we usually do. We have the Yaffee program rewind. All right, that time of the show where I remind you, if you missed any of it live, well, the podcast is up on the website, WVNN.com, or subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio app, iHeartRadio, and the WVNN app. So the big topic of the day, started the show talking about it, of course, redistricting, where, in January I wrote a piece how Democrats are going to get what they deserved here. For years, they've just been going to the courts, screaming racist, racist, getting courts to force states to racially gerrymander. Why? To get more Democrat seats. That's all it is. It's not about minority representation or something. It was about getting more Democrats elected. And they were successful for a while, but eventually it was going to bite them in the butt, and that's coming. We had a pretty reasonable map after the last census, but they went to the courts, forced another Democrat seat, so fine, we're going to redraw it again. And it's going to be full Republican. That's what's going to happen. So they're going to get exactly what they deserve. So we talked a lot about that on the show today. We had John Wall on the show in the last segment. He is former Alabama Republican Party chairman, running for lieutenant governor as well. If you missed that interview, the podcast is up. If you missed the first segment of us talking about it, that podcast is up. I talked about it a little bit more because I played a cut of President Trump on this. Go ahead if you can, Walker. Play Trump cut 1 for me.
Some states don't need to redraw, and some do. I mean, I know what the concept of the rule. I just haven't seen the result. I would say generally I would think that they would want to do it. Some are greatly helped, and some, it didn't make much difference.
Well, the fact is this ruling brings the Voting Rights Act to its original purpose. So we talked a lot about that on the show. The podcast is up. I had the Alabama bullet points as well. One of the stories in the bullet points, and you get more details if you like the Yaffee Facebook page or follow me on X at Yaffee or Instagram at Yaffee Live. I talked about how Governor Kay Ivey right now stated that our state is currently not in a position to call a special session for redistricting. We're still waiting for some other court decisions on this, but many politicians say just do it now, challenge it in the courts later. So we'll have to see what happens there. So I had that in the bullet points and more. Check that out. We spoke with candidate for Senate, Seth Burton. He's actually a native of North Alabama. He worked for the Navy for 30 years. He was helping drive submarines, nuclear submarines. So we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about Iran. We talked about the filibuster, the latest in the Senate, why he's deciding to run. And yes, he is an underdog. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter. So we discussed that. And we also talked about Iran, or apparently the Ayatollah is still alive, I guess. He's putting out messages that they're not going to change. He wants to keep nukes. We're just going to do this over and over again. We're probably going to have to bomb them again. Keep saying that. Some people don't want to admit it. Go ahead if you can, Walker. Play Trump cut 2. This was Trump talking about the blockade. He thinks that's good enough.
The blockade is genius, okay? The blockade has been 100% foolproof. It shows how good our Navy is, I can tell you that. Nobody's going to play games.
All right, and Pete Hegseth as well talked about it. Play Secretary of War. He was talking in front of Congress yesterday, Pete Hegseth.
The $1.5 trillion budget will ensure the United States continues to maintain the world's most powerful and capable military as we grapple with a complex threat environment across multiple theaters. President Trump, unlike other presidents, has had the courage to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon, and he's ironclad in that. For 2 months, this president has stared them down. He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never has a nuclear weapon. I know the American people support that mission, despite your loose talk and words like quagmire.
All right, so Pete Hegseth, there you go. I hope he's right on that. We talked about that. We had What's Trending as well. We do that every day. Good job, Walker, doing What's Trending at a different time. So the podcast of that is up. Thanks to Walker for producing today. Thanks to you for listening. The Vince Show is coming up next. And yes, I will be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
The Yaffee Program. Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk with The Vince Show.
It is a reflection of your response to this program that we get to take this thing to the next level. These gigantic shows. This is going to be so much fun. It's unbelievable.
In-depth interviews, live caller interactions, and a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
I've got updates. I've got big stories. We'll sort through the truth of what's really going on. So buckle up. Here it comes.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform. Vince Colonnese is redefining news talk.
I'm Vince Colonnese, host of the Vince Podcast. I'm bringing you the truth beneath the headlines of all of the nation's top stories.
In-depth interviews.
We feature news-making interviews with the top guests on the whole planet. And I'll ask the questions you only dream of other interviewers asking.
And a front row seat to the most important conversations of the day.
It's a show with an obsessive focus on what's good for America. You are going to love Vince.
The Vince Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.